All right. Awesome. Okay, so we're recording live. Hey, everybody, it's Gary here. I'm here with Richard Schulman. He's an agent with Keller Williams. And we're bringing the Trep show to you today with, we're going to talk a little bit about entrepreneurs and real estate and get to know Richard a lot better. So please join in and call or just sit on the chat room if you'd like to join us. I'll be happy to bring you on. We just kind of want to bring this a live chat about what Richard does and being an entrepreneur. So we're always happy to bring you guys on. Hey, Richard. So how's it going today?
Good. So far, so good. It's cooled down here in LA. It was, well over 100 earlier in the week. Now we're down to the 80s.
Okay.
It's quite nice.
Awesome. I left this in. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going? Let's see. Soup Bowl. Can you hear me? All right. I don't know if he hears me at all. I'm going to kick him out a little bit and let him come back on when he's ready for a question or something like that. So the cool thing about this is, we can, if somebody wants to come on and ask a question face to face, boom, they can just call in and jump on. But sometimes their audios don't work, so we just bump them out, bring them back on.
Yeah, it's like Reddit with audio and video.
Yeah, exactly, man. So the cool
hopefully less swearing.
What's that?
Hopefully less swearing than Reddit.
Yeah, exactly. Mostly a lot less swearing here. There are other blab chat rooms that people like to go nasty on here, so it just depends on the people. Well, so I'm glad you joined us. My co-host Alexis, he's not with us because it's a little bit later for him in Australia, so he's already going to the office. He's a software programmer out in Spain. So, let's get started. The reason why we had John here is because we're out trying to build out, a lot more content for people that are entrepreneurs and they're trying to figure out how to run their business and what to do. Because I think a lot of people, they're starting to learn their jobs are becoming obsolete, or, they don't know how to shift with the market and how to keep growing and earning more business. So that's what I'm excited about, is bringing people on like you that, you've kept your business alive. How many years have you had your business together now?
This is my 13th year in real estate.
Okay. That's cool. So I think we can all really appreciate that. So, so tell me a little bit about tell us a little bit about your experience into entrepreneurship. When did you get started, or when did you think you wanted to become your own business owner and start getting involved in business that way?
Well, I sort of always had that sense. So, I don't remember when that wasn't the case.
Okay.
After college, the job opportunities that were available were not very interesting. They were, entry-level jobs with, long, slow treks uphill to the next career plateau. In college, I'd been running a painting business, and I really enjoyed that. And I decided to, just sort of jump from painting. I didn't like what I saw in the job market, so I made my own job. I got into real estate to, be a broker of real estate and an investor of real estate, which was sort of two different entrepreneurial things combined together. And, I still have only ever had one boss at one internship. So okay. I am pretty happy about that.
Well, it's good to hear that you've done so well with it, because a lot of people try to go in and do it and they figure out, what, I'm not such a great boss or CEO. I got to go back to being an employee. And I think a lot. Yeah,
it's not for everyone. There's a different skill set and a different mindset that you need to have. And it's not a judgment. It's not, well, one person's better or worse than someone else. It's just, this is what I happen to enjoy and be good at. And there's lots of people that wouldn't do very well in my role. And there's probably people that would do better than me in my role. But you have to find what you're good at, what your passion is, and, what you can devote yourself to.
Right. Yeah. So tell a little bit about that, about how, when you got into real estate and you thought, I'm going to do this, but you hadn't really done it yet before, right? You said you always thought of yourself that way, but you haven't actually accomplished it and executed it yet. So how'd you get started?
I got started slowly. I was 23. I didn't know what I was doing in real estate. There was certainly no reason that anyone should have hired me to broker a property for them. Being 23, having never bought or sold a property, having no, real tangible work or life experience that I could impart on someone. So I spent a lot of time learning the market and creating opportunity for myself. And when I made my first sale, it was lucky. I happened to be in the right place at the right time, but I had put myself in a lot of places at a lot of times, and that was just the first time I happened to get paid for it.
Hey, man, that's a way to learn.
It's a weird start in in that business, because why would someone hire me? You have to kind of get really lucky and work really hard to get to that point.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think that's cool, man, because I think that's a really big barrier you probably crossed, because I'm sure a lot of people did look at you and think like, wait a minute, why am I going to hire this young kid? This is a $500,000 deal or whatever the prices were at that time,
Yeah. Well, my first one was 865, so I was happy about that.
Awesome, dude. That's a good number to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So, so you got into entrepreneurship and stuff, and you started figuring out selling. I mean, did you think, what did you think of yourself as you were out there? Because I'm sure you had a lot of jobs that you had to do because you were kind of a business owner. Were you working at Keller Williams too?
I started at a different firm, a national corporate firm. And, in real estate, I think what people miss about real estate is you don't just hold an open house and then people give you money. You have to do marketing. So you have to make flyers and you have to distribute them, in person or by mail. So I was stuffing envelopes and mailing them and addressing them and stamping them and going to the bulk mail postal service place in Van Nuys to do that. And I would make my own websites and do my own blogging and sit open houses, and I had to buy my own signs, and I had to put the signs up and take the signs down and print flyers. I had to show up at the open house and know what I was talking about. There's hundreds of little things that have to be done. And, that's sort of the challenge, is that people miss that. So it is a business. I'm the business owner. I'm the sole employee at that point, but there's a whole operation that goes on. So you can be ready to sit that open house, get traffic to the open house, and then ultimately get a client out of that, and then monetize that client and have a happy client at the end.
Yeah. So what did you feel about that? Like that pressure, because you're working really hard, right? You're not getting a paycheck that day or even that next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The long cycle before you get paid, right?
Yeah. Real estate has got to be one of the longest cycle sales businesses. And what people don't understand is that it takes a few months to kind of even get close to your first sale generally. And then, if you called me today, Gary, and said, I want to buy a house and I have to buy it right away, it still might be 45 or 60 days at the very earliest that I would get paid. So even though we're directly incentivized to work harder, that is, the harder I work, in theory, the more I get paid. And that's generally the case. It's the harder you work, the more you get paid in 3 months. So I can work really hard today, but I might not get those paychecks till September. I mean, that's fall from now. So it's a interesting set of incentives that you have in the business.
Yeah. So how did you keep yourself so organized? If you have to think about what you're doing today is going to, I guess, give you that paycheck in 3 months, right?
Yeah.
You got to be consistent for that next three months.
Yeah, you have to have a focus on a goal. So, we do a lot of goal tracking. In my office right now, on the other wall that you can't see, there's our goal tracking sheet that shows our sales, and we track our numbers daily. We know where we have to be to hit our goals at the end of the year, and we break that down by month. So we have a rough idea every month what we need to do. But yeah, it's sometimes it's hard to say, I gotta, I had a long day today. Ooh, I get a paycheck in September. That's cool. So sometimes that's a challenge.
Yeah, I can hear that. That's for sure, man. So I'm curious, like, on what, maybe you'll get like a little advice about what you would say to someone, even if they're not getting into real estate and they're trying to just figure out how to earn money. Because if they're going to be a business owner, then they've got to produce sales in order for them to get a paycheck back, right? Otherwise, they're just using savings to fund their.
Yeah, and that's one of the big reasons a lot of agents wash out, is that they think that there's this easy, paycheck coming to them. It's not the case, and they're in the business 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and they haven't made any money, so they wash out. It's a huge issue in our industry that we let way too many people into the business, and they don't hack it, and they end up with a sour taste in their mouth and less money in their pocket.
Yeah, well, I was. Like that's how we met. Like I was in real estate and I was full time at that time. Right.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted to get in and learn the business and do well at it. And I I'm not doing that anymore like today now.
Mm-hmm.
I've shifted a little bit, but my shift came out of necessity. I didn't give up. Like my necessity was I've got a daughter that lives 2,000 miles away. So I wanted a business that would allow me to be more mobile. So if I wanted to go see her for a long period of time, I can go to Chicago and I can stay and I can see her more. I just couldn't see myself being able to do that within the next 12 months selling real estate. What would your advice be to somebody in that kind of position on how to go through that thought process? Because you got to really look at yourself and see if you can do it, right?
Well, yeah. So one of the misnomers of our industry is people come in, they say, "Oh, I say, why do you want to be in real estate?" And I want to make lots of money, and I want to have flexibility. It's like, well, yeah, I have flexibility, but I still have to be around all the time. I mean, I don't have to do anything else the rest of the day, but if I don't do it, if I just take the rest of the day off, that's stuff that won't happen. If I decide not to work tomorrow and blow off my appointments, I won't get in trouble, but I will lose clients and lose future business. So it's a balancing act, to get to that flexibility you're talking about. One of the reasons we have a team is that it gives everyone on the team more flexibility because it gives us coverage. If someone's out of town, we have coverage, and that person can be out of town or can take a vacation or days off.
Yeah, that's a real good idea because I wish more people would really understand and appreciate the team concept. Like, how many people do you have on your team working your business?
I think we have 19 on the team right now.
Wow. See, and I don't think a lot of people in real estate or people not in real estate understand that there are people like you that have a staff of 19 people, including yourself.
Yeah, it's definitely the wave of the future. My company, Keller Williams, is definitely at the forefront of pushing people to really embrace this vision of running a business. It's okay if you want to be an individual agent or a small team, but if you really want to do the best job for your clients and for yourself, building a functional, full service team is definitely the best way to go. And that takes between 10 and 25 people, depending on your area, your volume, and your coverage and service areas. So, for our market to deliver a high quality service product to our clients, we need to have a big team with, we have 8 people who are full-time staff who do administrative non-sales work. So it's a high level of service that we're able to offer to our clients.
Okay. What kind of advice would you give someone if, let's say, they were thinking about getting in real estate, right? Would you say have them go out alone and try to be an agent by themselves, or just go look to a team and see if they can be a part?
Well, everyone's different. I think most agents would be better off on a team because a team effectively takes away the business risk from the new agent. So when we bring an agent on, they don't have to worry about any of those things I mentioned before. They have to worry about answering the phone, making phone calls, sending out emails, and following up and showing properties. So they're essentially outsourcing to us a lot of the work that they would have to do. We generate a lot of the business. We have the business that they can help us close and convert, and we have the infrastructure and staff that allows them to focus their time solely on the sales end of business.
Well, that's cool. That's really good to know because I think I think it's a great avenue. I think for somebody to learn about becoming a business owner. Do you get a lot of maybe agents that come in and say, "Well, I want to be a great agent like you. Can I join your team and learn how to do it all, and then go out and do my own thing?"
Yeah, so that's something we definitely screen for. I mean, we're not interested in training someone to go and compete with us. I mean, we think that, I know for a fact that I offer to my agents on my team an incredible opportunity to be in business with a high-level team and to make a good living. I have a lot of people who work for me who make a good living, and they see the value in staying on the Schulman team. If we think someone's really just looking for training, it's not what we're geared to do. It takes us 6 to 12 months to get someone really fully geared up and trained, and it's an expensive investment for us. So if they're going to leave the team, then there's no payback for us on investment.
Yeah, that's a pretty big investment on your part.
Yeah.
So what do you? Let me ask you this: How do you feel comfortable about your decision going into real estate and being an entrepreneur? Do you think you feel good with it? Does it fit your personality? Do you see anything changing for the future?
Oh yeah, I think it's a great fit for me. I've really taken my business to an entrepreneurial extreme. I have to be able to pronounce the word on the Trep show. We've gone to the extreme in our business to mean that we're a real full business, but it's still, the business still relies on me being a salesperson and other people being in sales. So for me, it's been a good fit because I am able to do those sales. There are people who are really good entrepreneurs that if they don't have that sales talent, may struggle. Let's say you're an entrepreneur, you own a Subway. You don't have to be good at selling. People come in and buy sandwiches, right? There's not a whole lot of, you're not going to turn the dial on that tremendously. In our business, you have to go out and find the clients and source the clients and close the clients. And so that's a big challenge for a lot of people. So it's a good match for me. It's a great fit. I'm really happy that I did it. It wasn't really a question, but I'll add on to that. One of the best benefits about being in real estate for me as an agent is it's allowed me to be an investor in real estate. And for me, that's been, always been the goal. Real estate's the vehicle to get me to my investment assets.
Cool. Nice. I like that. So you're really thinking like, a business person or someone that you really want to accumulate some assets, so you don't always have to be working for the money, right? And that you can.
Well, I never think that I have to work. I think that I have the privilege of working and I want to work. But, that's the goal is ultimately to generate freedom through investment income. And, we coach our clients on that. We help our clients do that. And of course, obviously, I'm not going to tell them to do something that I wouldn't do myself.
Okay. Well, that's cool, man. I'm sure a lot of people out there would like to hear from that, like a real estate agent, a realtor they can trust, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's, I'm very open and transparent with my clients about what I do and what I believe in. When they ask for advice, I say, this is what I would do if I were you. And that's based on real experience of selling a lot of homes or investing in homes. And so I'm able to give them my advice. They don't always take it, but at least I've given them my advice.
So I'm curious, like how you take your skill set and your thoughts of like adding your entrepreneurial flair to your business, because Keller Williams offers a lot of systems and support as far as what to do, right?
Yeah, they give you a lot of guidance on what to do. They've given me a lot of help at the idea of what to do, and then it's really left for me to kind of fill in the blanks as far as the details. So they generally provide a framework, and then we try to come in and build the framework to really fit our team, our systems, our business. We're doing a high volume of properties, but not compared to a lot of agents around the country who are doing an enormous volume of properties. We're doing it at a very high price point, which is different. But, we'll do 175 to 200 sales this year. There's agent teams that will do 1,500 sales this year. So They have a different implementation of roughly the same model that we have. Okay.
That's real interesting too, because when I first got started, I didn't think about real estate as being a high volume business, right? Like, how many houses am I going to sell in a year? I mean, I think everybody would just think like, well, I'd love to sell like 100 or 50, but then really it's like, how do you get the nuts and bolts together to actually be able to do like 200 units a year?
It's a big number. Well, first you got to sell one, and then sell 5, and then sell 10. And, I sold 9, 8, and 8 my first 3 years in the business. It takes time to grow that business. You have to grow the client base, which takes time, and you have to grow your skill set, which takes time. And, not every business is infinitely scalable. It's hard to scale a real estate business because it generally relies on the talent of 1 or 2 or 3 people. And once you've maxed out their workload, if you make a website, for example, it can work autonomously. But in a service business, ultimately, you're still hiring me or someone on my team to do that work. So we're still limited by time. I can only meet with so many people a day. So that creates some limitations for us.
That brings me to, I was just thinking, do you see any ways that internet, social media, or like kind of tools like this or things like that would be able to leverage yourself a little bit and squeeze out a little bit more production out of each hour every day?
Well, the internet definitely lets us advertise more effectively and more efficiently. I would have liked to have seen that we would be able to really get large increases in production justified by that. But I think what happens in real estate, because there's no barrier to entry, if you made selling real estate 10% easier, you would attract 10% more agents to the marketplace. In other jobs, like go back to the Subway, like you can't just open a Subway tomorrow if let's say the market price for sandwiches doubled, you couldn't just say, I'm going to open a Subway. You would need to have a ton of assets, some type of food handling license. You'd have to have a license from Subway, find the space. It might take 6 or 12 months to do that. But anyone can get the real estate licenses and start selling homes in 3 months. And unfortunately, the license requirements are very easy in our state.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. So it's like it's a little bit misleading for people to get started because they probably, I don't know if a lot of people really think like, wow, that's a large paycheck, but they're not putting it into terms like, well, how long did it take you to earn that paycheck, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
Okay. Well, the other thing was I'm really curious because, since I've got to know you, I totally respect you and your, like, meeting you in person. For me, it was a big difference because I felt like you were so like on focus and on point in that sales meeting room, right? Yeah. And I felt like dynamically you were a much better speaker and teacher because you were willing to really just put your abilities right on the line in front of everybody. And remember, we started talking about like sales strategy. You were talking dialogue. You were talking, okay, well, let's talk about how you would engage a client. I thought that was really cool and pretty unique about you compared to other agents, other realtors I've met.
Yeah, thank you. It's that's a key element to success in real estate is those things that you mentioned. I'm getting lots of things popping up on my screen here.
Oh, see, these are props. So I can go over here and I can give you props right now. I can give you a bunch of prop bubbles.
Oh.
So people just watching that don't join the call, like anybody can call in right now, but if they're just watching,
so I can click.
They can give you props. Yep, exactly. So, hey, what's up, Ricky? Ricky Prime's there. Ricky's a webcaster. He's from New Zealand, but he's over in Maryland right now, and he actually helps people to do this, to webcast. But he's got a more professional studio, so he can give people background videos and stuff like that. He can add multiple screens to the screen that we're watching, so he can really turn it into like a CBS News news nightline. What he does. Cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting interface we're working on.
Yeah. So I'm glad he stopped by because I've been going to him for a little bit of advice because I'm trying to build more value and stuff with my show and like Trep show because I'm trying to bring guys like you and other people from other walks of life and different businesses so that people that want to get into business and become an entrepreneur can get a real taste and a real experience of what it's like, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe tell us a little bit about some of the struggles that you had that you knew was either going to stop you or you had to figure it out because you were going to die at the business.
Well, that's some feedback there. Yeah. The struggles are usually growth related. It's how do we grow to the next level and how do we increase our quality level to our clients, and those seems to be the struggles we hit. It all comes down to people, Gary. The quality of talent you have dictates what you can do. So when we hire people, we're able to grow successfully. When we have trouble managing people or we have trouble keeping people in the right position, it impacts our ability to grow productively. So that's always the biggest trouble, the biggest stumbling block for us is trying to recruit the right talent, manage and train them, and then also keep them focused on the right position and goals so we can get that high level of service and production.
Very cool. I like that. So where do you see things like this? I'm curious from your perspective. Do you see like social media, like this webcasting, any types of things like this helping you in your business in some way?
Well, it's everything helps to some degree. It's hard to track. One of the challenges of the internet in our business is that someone may see this and then go look at my Yelp page and then call me from Yelp, and I would never know that this is how they found me. So it's impossible to really identify the source of a lot of your business, but we know that the more things out there that you have pointing to you, pointing to your sites, the better it is for you, the more that you can grow. And it helps your online business grow. Oh, I got a prop for that.
You got a prop for that? You? Right on.
I have 43. Is that good?
That's pretty good, man. That's a nice number. That's not bad.
All right. I'll take it.
Yeah, because like I've looked at it a lot about thinking like social media, webcasting. I think obviously social media is still not very old; it's still relatively new. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of viable business nowadays coming out, and really doing big things for big companies, making big money, doing it. So I'm always curious, like how it'll help different businesses. Like so for yours, for example, with realtors, I'm real curious. Like, do you use social media? Like, do you use Facebook? And are you adding any value to potential clients and stuff there and earning new business that way?
Yeah, we're on Facebook. We use Facebook for two reasons, and one is to network with possible referral agents from around the country. So we get a good number of referrals from other agents inbound to the LA area. The other thing that we do is we keep our clients and friends aware of what's going on in the market. We're not an overt seller on Facebook. It's not, hey, come to my open house. It's, hey, here's something cool I saw in real estate. Here's a really special property that you might be interested in, that type of thing. We try to keep it really valuable to them. We don't try to waste their space or their time because we don't want unsubscribes. We don't want blocks. We don't want people to screen out what we're sending.
I like that. So you're not posting up like every single new listing that Richard Schulman got like an announcement.
Yeah, exactly. We try to pick one or two a month that will really appeal to the widest base of our clients.
Ricky's asking, do you do this live?
We're live, Ricky.
Yeah.
give me a prop for that. I'm waiting.
Yeah, call in too, Ricky, if you got a moment, man. It'd be good to have you on. So, like, man, I'm just kind of curious about like, so you're going to grow your business from.
Oh, I got two.
Ooh, nice, man. Yeah, Ricky's awesome. Ricky likes to put some respect on that. That's, it's one of his taglines there. He'll put some respect on that. So you're going to grow your business, your real estate business. How do you see that growing with your investments? Like, are you going to open more offices? Do you think you would ever run your own brokerage? I
don't think that running my own brokerage is what I want to do.
Okay.
I want to focus on investment properties. I believe that the single best way for anyone to get ahead, to develop real wealth and real security is through rental real estate, the right rental real estate, of course. But it's a passion of mine. It's helping my clients see that and get that, and that's the focus for me, is growing that business.
Okay, well, cool, man. I think I'm always hopeful for new products and stuff like this because I see, like Facebook Live, started happening recently, and you start seeing a lot of people using Facebook Live, like, hey, I'm going to the store, or it's funny. I'm watching people. They're like, dude, I'm crushing it. I'm here killing it. They're trying to sound like Gary Vee, but they're just driving to work like they normally do every other day. So it's pretty funny to watch them live and see how excited they are about becoming a bit of a celebrity for everybody.
Yeah, social media is still maturing. So we still don't know what's going to happen. We still don't know the best way to use it. When there's a game-changing product like Facebook Live, or potentially game-changing, we just don't know. Chewbacca Lady is the most popular one ever. I mean,
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that was crazy. That was a pretty good video.
Her 120 million views in 3 years, we'll be looking back and we'll be seeing people get 1 billion views.
True.
And we'll say, 100. How did that ever? It's like, what was the first big YouTube video? Like Mikey bit his tongue or something. And now we're now if you don't have 1 billion views, something's wrong with your music video on YouTube.
Right. And YouTube was maybe about a year or so old when people at Google noticed it. I had heard, the woman that's Susie, that's the CEO of YouTube right now.
Yeah.
She used to work at Google and saw a couple of these guys in China lip syncing to a Backstreet Boys video. And when it was when she saw that and then saw the potential with YouTube, she convinced the guy, Larry and Sergey, to buy YouTube. And then they ended up buying
it. Purchase, I think.
Yeah, they ended up buying it 9 months ago. So I think, it's like seeing where these things will go and how we'll add business. I see a lot of potential with this, with like webcasting and bringing on multiple people. So like Ricky's a friend of mine now, and he's on Facebook. He has a show called Lifestylers for Webcasters on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
And he's showing people how they can do like a setup like you would see where you got a green screen behind you, and then you can bring in multiple calls and stuff with you, so people can actually produce their own show right from their desktop or the laptop.
Yeah. It's become a lot easier to do high quality production.
Yeah, yeah.
And all remote too.
Well, I think it could be something real good for a business that maybe, would benefit from engaging with their customers, maybe people that rave about their product and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I was just on one a little bit before this one, and these guys were talking about this other service called public.chat. And what it opened up my mind to a little bit was, it's like, yeah, chat rooms have been around for a long time because most people, they like to do business or work with people that they like and are like them, right?
Yeah, that sounds fair.
I'm seeing a huge upside with like chat room styles like this, and then how they're being kind of intertwined with video, like we're doing here. People can just comment in the sidebar, and they can start. Yeah. It's opening the door, I think, to a lot of creatives to help give us some new platforms to play with.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. I have to get used to this interface. There's a whole bunch of things going on here.
Totally, right? It's like, especially someone that has ADD, and they would just love this, right?
Well, you can see it. I have trouble just sitting still for the whole 30-minute call.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Well, I know you're. Oh, that's right. We are coming to the end of it here and stuff. So I'm real glad that you joined and did this here. I record this so we can put it up on YouTube and use it.
Cool.
You'll also, you can always take it there, or if you need to get some snips from the video, you can always do that.
Yeah, I like this function on the left side of share last 30 seconds. It's a pretty interesting idea.
Yeah, and it's cool because then you can try to bring on some of your other friends, because I've found if people that are on Twitter or are active on Twitter, then they're gonna want to tweet this and bring other people in. They're like, hey, check this out. I'm over here.
Yeah.
So I like the way social media works with each other. We'll bring in on Mike. Hopefully his video or audio works well. Let's see here. Hey, Mike, can you hear us? I thought I let him in.
Mike Butcher 1?
Yeah, Mike Butcher 1. Doesn't seem like his audio or video is letting him in, but I think it's showing to me like he's still calling. Let me kick him so he can try to call in again. Call in again, Mike, and see if it'll work. It wasn't, your video or audio wasn't coming in. So, hopefully, I always like to open it up like this so that people can just call in and ask a question directly. Think of it like interactive TV, right?
Yeah, it's fascinating.
I imagine, like, if I was a kid and I was just sitting on the sofa and then there was like my favorite celebrity was there and I can just call in and get on the video screen with him, I would think, man, what an awesome thing, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty impressed.
So here, I'm going to bring on Ricky. You can introduce you to Ricky. He's a new friend of mine. He's an advisor to me about webcasting and stuff. He's been doing live streaming for about 3 or 4 years now. So he's really cool, really good at it. Let's see here. See, I don't know why. Hopefully this will get him in a second. I allowed him in, so Blab should connect him at any moment.
Here he has 7 props.
Yeah, he's good, dude. He's getting up there. So, I guess wrapping up today, it's like, I'm just curious about where you see yourself going with your business. You're talking about investing, and then you were talking about a little bit, like you're not going to do a brokerage. You're probably going to keep a team based like you have right now, right?
Yeah, it's what I'm good at, what I do. I mean, Keller Williams gives other opportunities for passive income. So, yeah. I'm always exploring those opportunities and talking to people here about that. But, I want to stay focused on the core. The core is what I'm good at. I think that the trap of the entrepreneur is that you try to do too many things. And so, yes, it's good to be an entrepreneur, but it doesn't mean you should do 40 things at once. Try to find 2 or 3 things that you're good at and focus on those.
Yeah.
I think that's a good lesson to take from it, is that, I could do 100 different things. The opportunities are out there, but I want to find the 1, 2, 3 things that I'm really passionate about that I can do the best at.
Nice. Well, Ricky's been trying to call in here, and I don't know what the Blab function. See, it's not working. Sometimes we get bugs on Blab, and we'll try to. Oh, there he goes. Can you hear us, Ricky? See, I don't get any audio back from him. Do you hear anything? There we go.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Hey, there we go. What's up, man?
Yo, what's up? How's it going? Sorry about that.
That's all right. Yeah, I don't know what it was with Blab. It was like just showing that you were trying to call in forever, and I accepted you, and it wouldn't let you in.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nah, it's technology. Doesn't always work.
So I'm glad you joined in, man. Hey, Rich, I want you to introduce you to Richard because he's a real estate agent and stuff in there, and I don't know.
Play the Brady Bunch. Hello.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
I know the feels when you first get on here. It's kind of like that. I'm actually here with Rob, as well.
Oh, hey, Rob.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up?
So me and Rob does audio and visual stuff like conference rooms and stuff like this, and I sort of focus on sort of helping people sort of create shows, direction, and how like people say engaging audience. Like I think people that say they engage audience, they kind of just put on a show, right? So it kind of like disjoints you from your actual audience that's watching you. And so I sort of focus on live streaming because people are looking for, they want people to revolve around. So you got someone who's watching you. You want to kind of be able to pull them in and then sort of, have a cycle of backwards and forwards. And this is the part of live stream that people are struggling with. And that's kind of what I do. And yeah, that's what you were talking about, Gary, is before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of better get in here. I was like, I got to try and get in.
Yeah, you should definitely check out his show sometime, Richard, because you'll be amazed how he's using the green screen. Then he can bring on multiple callers like this and show it on like a TV or things like that because he's got some software to make it look real nice.
Yeah, it's a good setup. I can see it in the background.
Yeah, you should thank Rob. Rob, so Rob.
Good job, Rob.
Yeah. Nice job. He was paid to do that, by the way. Yeah, he's the hand guy, the thumbs up guy. Like this on Facebook. No.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, like, so you do real estate, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
in the LA area.
Yeah, because I got in late to this, and I was like, oh man, this is really interesting. Like, I'm actually pretty excited about this. So real estate is something that I in my mind I think can benefit from live streaming. I hope I'm not going off too off topic here, but
yeah, no, this is good because we were just kind of wrap up. So I'm glad you joined in.
Yeah. So with live streaming, right? Like I feel that live streaming gives the audience an opportunity to try and get in first, right? There's different things you can do with live streaming. You can do like, you know what? Like, it'd be interesting.
I've seen people like Periscope a house listing or an open house to see the inside.
Yeah. There's other things as well. There's a bunch of different things you can do via, live streaming, just rather than just Periscope. Because I see these people, right? If I just use my phone, I know specifically 75% of my audience has a phone, but if I can do a studio style and bring phones in and have revolving callers, people wanting to ask questions, just amazing things that really brings to life a show or a showing in the case of a house, then you really have actually kind of created a new pivot point in the way that you can engage an audience via live streaming. And I'm interested to work with real estate in particular. We just did a lawyer and it worked out for him. And now he's sort of engaged his audience. So yeah, it'd be interesting if you guys are interested.
Yeah,
that sounds interesting. We should definitely talk.
All right. Well, I'll get Rob to hit you up and then we'll talk together. And Gary.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I think what like Ricky and them are doing, like they've got all the technology and things figured out. So they're really good at like he can go in and collaborate with businesses and they can try to figure out if there's some type of a content strategy or way. Because Ricky's really good at building audiences.
Yeah.
And I think
that's always the challenge, right?
Yeah.
It's a what?
Always the challenge is the audience.
Yeah, like yeah, definitely. I think it's funny because when I first started live streaming, right, it was for gaming, right? Totally irrelevant, had nothing to do with it. but they had strategies. They had strategies in the gaming industry that actually are relevant now to every other industry. We just have to understand that it doesn't have to be like some game on a screen. It can actually look very cool for a business like yourself, even a business like Gary, anyone else. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's something in real estate. I think it's been behind the curve on that type of stuff that we haven't as an industry figured out how to make these things work.
Well, you don't want to tell everyone. Let's get you to do it first.
That's what I like to do.
Yeah. All right.
Cool, man.
I'm gonna.
Well, Richard, I also wanted to give you the opportunity. I know that I told you about 30 minutes, so just in case you had an appointment or something else to do, I wanted to give you.
I do have to wrap up pretty soon. We can always go again if you want to another time.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm real glad you came on. Richard's here like an ace scheduler, man. He's so pumped at running his schedule. Like I was telling you, he's got a team where there's him and 18 other people that run his real estate team. That's
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so he's like a real businessman. But the other thing I love about him is he's not about wasting time. Like time is very valuable to Richard, so he likes to take the value out of every minute that he possibly.
And time is valuable to everyone. Just some people appreciate it more.
Hey, Richard,
there you go, man.
You've got 18 real estate agents that work underneath of you.
Yeah, some are administrative staff too, but mostly licensed. Yeah.
This is not a studio.
This isn't our studio camera. This is our quick camera to like get in because our other camera was bugging out. So.
Oh, okay.
So how many agents do you have on any given Saturday doing open houses?
It depends, between 5 and 10.
Dude,
some are busier, so we're
perfect example, bro. You're gonna kill it.
So talking earlier about not wasting people's time. I mean, if you did a Saturday show when you already had your agents at the real estate locations, and you're like, all right, so what I want you guys to do, in addition to already being at the house, since I'm sure by now you know when the dead times are in any given time zone during the day, right? So let's say that generally, you get a surge in the morning, and then in the afternoon it flattens out. But whenever that 1 hour sweet spot is, where you can get your team, your folks in the field to cam up, then you could do a 1 hour show and do a round robin of those 10 real estate agents, just banging out.
Look at his face. He's like, oh
yeah. Well, the reason, because what we're able to do, one of the ways that we're doing the studio here is we're bringing in multiple parties. So on camera, it's kind of like loud, but you would basically be able to go round robin across all 10 of your sales reps and be efficient to potential buyers' time.
That's an interesting idea. We should definitely talk about that offline sometime.
Cool. Okay.
That sound good?
Yep.
Yeah, great. I'll make sure you guys get in touch. Like Richard doesn't use Twitter much, guys, so I'll let Richard tell me how to contact you guys, and I'll make sure I reach out so you guys get Richard's contact info.
Cool.
Yeah, send it over, Gary. It's schulmanrd@gmail.com.
Okay.
Is the easiest way to reach me. And the phone number is 310-482-0173.
And I'll make sure, if you guys didn't I'll make sure you guys get that too after this.
Great.
Awesome. Richard.
Cool, Richard. I wasn't expecting Ricky to come on today. Hey, man, I'm glad he
welcome treat.
He's got his own webcasting that he does. He was doing actually at 1 p.m. about an hour and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does a show every day, Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think these guys got some good ideas because I'm not quite ready yet to utilize like the services that they do. I'm real interested in it, like to build myself up. So one of the exciting things about my show, Richard, is I also, like I've got you and other guests to come on. I also got the chairman of Saatchi & Saatchi agreed to come on my Trep show. So I'm talking to this publicist to get him onto my show. So I'm really excited about that. But I need to talk to people that know this space like these guys and stuff like that so we can make sure we bring out the most value for someone like that. They're going to give their time to do something. They want to make sure that it's, really falling in line with what their agenda is, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We've done a nice job, Gary. I appreciate you having me on. This was a pretty cool interface. I've never done it before.
Yeah, I'm glad you got in, and I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. I'm glad, and I'm glad these guys stopped by too, because they're awesome business collaborators.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Nice to meet you. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording now and end it.